BBC newsreader George Alagiah leaves just £49,000 to wife and family. George Alagiah was one of the BBC's longest-serving newsreaders and died at the age of 67 after being diagnosed with bowel cancer. Late BBC newsreader George Alagiah left just £49,000 to his wife and family in his will. He passed away on the 24th of July last year at age 67, after a decade-long battle with bowel cancer. The will of the former News at 6 presenter stated that George had £49,387 to his name on his time of passing. The will instructs that the money will be given to the sole executrix, which is his widow Frances Alagiah. The pair were married for 39 years and they have two sons, Adam and Matthew. He earned between £335,000 and £399,999, according to the BBC. It releases the salaries of its highest-paid stars, and these figures were published just a fortnight before his death. The will states that if his wife were to pass before him, his sister Miriam Christine Dennington to be guardian of his children, as reported by Needs to Know. George then goes on to list his 4 sisters and sister-in-law as his trustees to have 5 equal shares of his estates. The former journalist and presenter also requested that his body be cremated. The will of George Maxwell Alagiah states, "I appoint my wife Frances Alagiah to be sole executrix of this my will, but if she shall have died in my lifetime or before proving my will, or shall renounce probate or be unable or unwilling for whatever reason to prove my will, I appoint as alternate executors and trustees of my will my sister-in-law Helen Robathan and my sister Miriam Christine Dennington, and I declare that the person or person who shall prove my will are hereinafter referred to as my trustees. My trustees shall have the power to invest as freely as if they were beneficially entitled. My trustees shall have the power to insure any asset of my estate on such terms as they think fit and to pay premiums out of income or capital. To use any insurance money received to restore the asset, or if this is not possible, to apply it as if it were the proceeds of its sale. My trustees may use the income or capital of my estate for or towards the cost of maintaining or improving freehold or leasehold property forming part of my estate. My trustees shall have the power, in exercising the statutory power of appointing new trustees, to appoint a professional person or trust corporation at such remuneration and on such other terms as shall be agreed." The last will and testament of Maxwell Alagiah was proved and registered before the High Court of Justice. The administration of George estate is granted by this court to the following executor of Frances Alagiah. The application has stated that the gross value of the estate in the United Kingdom amounts to £49,387 and the net value amounts to £49,387. The presenter was the face of BBC News at 6 since 2007. George was diagnosed with bowel cancer 9 years ago and underwent 17 rounds of chemotherapy and 5 operations to treat the disease in 2014, which had spread to his liver and lymph nodes. The father of 2 returned to work in April last year following his treatment and credited his job with keeping energized and motivated. But, just 6 months later in October of that year, he told viewers that he needed to take a step back, saying, "It's back to the tough stuff." After he was told that the disease had returned.